Hello everybody, I'm Chris Provost and you're watching Park Pass, and today I'm going to show you a hidden tribute to Walt Disney that nobody else has yet discovered. I think we're the first to discover it, and it's been around for a very, very long time, and it's located in Disney California Adventure. But before I can show you this amazing tribute to Walt Disney, we have to go into Disneyland so I can explain and give you the backstory and the history, so that way you'll understand it when we go to Disney California Adventure. All right, let's do this. Let's find this amazing tribute to Walt Disney. All right, like I said, we have to go into Disneyland. We have to do this first in order to understand what has been put out there, this amazing tribute to Walt Disney that I don't think anybody else has discovered yet. So let's go into Disneyland and take a look at it. It's located right there on Main Street. Okay, so here I am. This is the Firehouse here, and this has a little memento to Walt Disney. As you can see right there, there's a lamp. Now, what does that lamp signify? That lamp signifies Walt's spirit. Because what it is when Walt used to visit Disneyland, the cast members would put that lamp on to let all the other employees here, the cast members, know, hey, Walt's in the park, he's in the park, he's in the park. And when after Walt passed, they have a lamp on there, and that lamp is on 24 hours a day, letting us know that Walt's spirit is always here in Disneyland. And they've changed out those lamps throughout the years, but it's always the same thought of like having a lamp there that's lit up, always burning, to let us know that Walt's still here with us in the park. But why right there? Why did they put that right there? Well, that used to be Walt's apartment. Walt had a little apartment up there. He would conduct business and do some business up there, and that was his place, and he would stop and whatever he had to do up there, conduct business and such, would be right there in that apartment. So when after he passed away, they have turned that into his little area, and they still as it was when he was alive, and they put the lamp there. Now that we've explained that, we've got to go back over to Disney California Adventure to take a look at this little memento, which I think we have solved. All right, so now we have to go over to Disney California Adventure. And I have to tell you, I did not discover all this on my own. Somebody brought this to my attention, and I started to do some research on it. I could not find anything, found some dead ends. I reached out to a bunch of people, kind of worked it together, and I think we have solved this mystery of what is going on at Disney California Adventure and how this is actually an homage to Walt Disney. When we first noticed this really cool thing, we didn't even know it was connected to Walt Disney at first. It'll make sense as we get through this video, I promise you. Oh, by the way, hit the subscribe button, guys. We have a lot more cool stuff coming out. And if you are enjoying this video, hit the like button. By the end of this video, if you learn something new, which you will because nobody knows this, then you have to hit the like button. All right, let's do this. Now I'm gonna have to show this to you in the daytime and the nighttime because it mostly pops at nighttime. All right, so now we need to go to the Hollywood Studios area here at DCA. So here in the Hollywood Studios area of DCA, there is in a building on the 3rd floor, there's a light, an office, and the light never turns off, ever. The light's on all the time. And people were asking, they're like, well, why is that on? And so I was like, I'm not sure. So trying to do some research, I think we have found the answer. Now, keep in mind, this is, I'm gonna say that I'm like 98% sure that this is accurate. There's always maybe a chance that I got some misinformation or maybe I came to the wrong hypothesis on this, but I'm positive what I'm about to tell you is something that most people haven't noticed, and it's an amazing tribute to Walt Disney. All right, so we've got to go down here to the Hollywood Studios area. All right, so we're gonna walk right down the street here and keep going along. So this light here never goes out, but I couldn't figure out, I assumed, I was like, it's gotta have a meaning. Disney doesn't do anything, you're not gonna leave a random light on for no reason. I mean, it's been on forever. So I made an assumption, like, it has to probably do with something with Walt Disney. And I mean, you'd have to think that. So that's what I started kind of digging through that, and I think we've come to this solution. Let's go check out the light. We'll look at it here during the daylight, the sunlight, but then I'll come back at nighttime and show it to you. You'll really be able to see it well at nighttime. Okay, so you walk down here, you can see Guardians of Galaxy Mission Breakout, obviously. Then right here, you see these little windows with awnings over them, okay? And those awnings actually are gonna come into play in a moment. That's gonna help me solidify my theory because those windows have awnings. But over here in this last window, the one at the top right there, that light is always on. So let me show it to you so you guys can take a look at it here. This light is always on right up there. And you can't really see it right now because it's daytime, but I will come back at nighttime so you can see it. That light right there is always on. You might be able to tell a little faintly that that light is on in that office right now. All right, that was the first big clue right there. See that giant billboard right there? All right, so we have to take a look here. This is our first clue that this might be something to do with Walt Disney, because it says Walt Disney Studios, Mickey Mouse, and Silly Symphony sound cartoons. But the important part of this, it says Walt Disney Studios. Studios being the operative word there. That's very important. And next, we have to take a look at the architecture. See right there, the awning right there, like the little awning of the area? That is kind of like this Art Deco style. And I know I've seen this before somewhere, but couldn't quite place it. But now I can. And you'll also notice it's done here as well. Down here and down there. This kind of like bronze Art Deco style. Even the lamps right here are important to notice. So what does this have to do with Walt Disney? Well, we're not quite there yet. We got to look at the awnings. That's the biggest clue. When Walt Disney started his studio up in Burbank, he wanted every one of the artists to have their own window. He felt that was very important. He wanted natural light to come in. And each one of the artists, they had their own window with an awning coming over so they could have shade. Just like this, right up there. You notice how each of them have like little metal awnings above them? It's just like the Walt Disney Studios up in Burbank. You kind of notice the light's a little bit lighter there. But what does this one at the third floor on the left have to do with anything? Why that one? Well, I took a tour of the Burbank Studios. And while we were there, we got to walk around and they showed us all these cool things of history. Well, there's an administration building. An administration building where Walt Disney's office was. His office was on the third floor. And it was on the upper left-hand corner. The left-hand corner. His office actually was like 3 different office buildings. On the left-hand corner, right there in the corner, that's where he would have dignitaries, people would come in. They do. He would sign contracts there. That's where he did all of his business, was in that left-hand corner. I think what's going on here, Walt Disney's here, they're having a homage, like what they do over at Disneyland. They leave that light on there, right there in that particular office, because that's Walt's office at Walt Disney Studios. This is meant to look like Walt Disney Studios. The awnings, the Art Deco, and the billboard, that tells us this is the Walt Disney Studios. And it's just like the Walt Disney Studios. It looks just like it does at up in Burbank. And that would be Walt's office. That's why I think the light's on 24 hours a day. I think it's an homage to Walt Disney, letting us know that he's here in this park as well. Just like Disneyland, there's always a light on. He always has a light on here at Walt Disney Studios at Disney California Adventure. How amazing that. This building here, I think, is like a little replica of the Burbank Studios. What do you guys think? Okay, now I'm gonna wait for it to get dark and I'll show you the lights here at nighttime. But I mean, this is just, I'm positive that's what it is. Take a look at some of these photos here of the building so you kind of get an idea of what they look like, so you kind of compare. These here are photos of the outside the exterior of the Walt Disney Studios. You kind of see the awnings and everything there, and the Art Deco style, and that's where Walt's office would have been, the top floor right there on the third floor. Before I come back here at nighttime to show you that office lit up at nighttime, I need to find a spot where I can talk to you. Hang on, let me find a spot. All right, so I found a little spot where I can talk to you guys. I just want to talk to you for a brief moment, and I am talking to you. That's right, I'm talking to you. You are important. And if you're thinking to yourself right now, okay, he's not talking to me, then get that thought right in your mind, because I am talking to you. I want you to know that you make the world better. Did you know that? You really do. And you might be thinking, well, how do I make it better? Well, the way you make it better is just by being here. Your energy, your attitude, everything you do makes the world better. So thank you so much for doing that. If you ever get sad, depressed, feel underappreciated, or wonder like, what's the point? If those thoughts ever start to get too invasive in your mind, come here to Provost Park Pass and know that I am your buddy and I think you are absolutely amazing. You are unique and you are special and you make the world better. I hope you know that I am talking to you. All right, let's wait for it to be dark and I'll show you Walt's office here in Disney California Adventure. All right, so it's a little bit darker, not dark enough yet. I'm gonna go get dinner and then I'm gonna come back, but you kind of can see it's starting to show a little bit more. All right, we got some dinner. It's getting darker, not quite yet, but almost. Let's go check it out. I think that somewhere, somehow, somebody did this, and it's a thank you to Walt here in Disney California Adventure. Of course, this was built way after Walt Disney had passed, but his spirit lives on here in this amazing park. I love Disney California Adventure. So I think that's what this is. I think that this is like the lamp at Walt's apartment that's always on. Walt's office here at Disney California Adventure, the light is always on. Let's go look at it. So this morning when I was in Disneyland, you know how they have the horses that are pulling the carts, the little trolley carts? The horse fell down when I was there, and it looked at me. He's like, "I've fallen. I can't giddy up." Giddy up. Wait a minute. Have you liked today's video yet? Okay, good. Let's continue on then. Now I'm going to show this. It's not quite, really, it's not like pitch black dark, but I think it's enough to see the light, and then I'll wait for it to even get darker, because I want you to really see this. Oh, it's not quite dark enough. You can't quite tell, but that light is on, so I'll come back. We're going to come back. We got to wait for it to get darker. Okay, it's darker. Now, of course, it doesn't look like it's dark because the aperture is opened a little bit on the camera, which allows it more light. But I just wanted to show this to you. There it is. That light is on all the time. It's always on. It's on the 3rd floor, right there. That would have been Walt's office if this was a building here, if this was at the Burbank Studios. I am positive that that is a nod to Walt. You see, like, even a little shade and all that. I am positive that little light there. I mean, that's the only thing I think of. That light's been on for a long time, and people have been asking about it for a long time. They're like, what is up with that light? I think that's what it is. It's literally the lamp like they have at Disneyland, but it's here at Disney California Adventure. It's a note to Walt to say, hey, you are part of this park. You are part of it. We always honor Walt Disney here. I think that's what it's for. Put it down in the comments down below what you guys think. If I'm right, you guys think I'm right? Am I wrong? Did I miss it? You notice none of the other lights are on, but that one is. You are awesome, and I hope you have a fantastic night or day or whatever it is that you're doing. You guys are great. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that like button. Have a lot more content coming out. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Disney California Adventure has a little homage to Walt Disney in an office on the 3rd floor, and the light never goes out, and nobody noticed it before, but now you notice it because you're watching Provost Park Pass.